Hello, family, friends, and all. I want to make this video in response to a lot of conversations being, should I say, written all over the internet, media, and I'm just going to give a little bit of my insight on it. I mean, because I'm telling you, I had to get on the bandwagon when they started talking about the color of Santa Claus. Never, ever been an issue as far as I know of. Uh, Talking about Santa Claus is white. Okay. And then as soon as I opened my mouth and said, oh yeah, Santa Claus is white. He was made up by white folks for white people. And lo and behold, here comes someone talking about St. Nicholas was black. Way back when. So what I'm beginning to understand here is I need to do research before I open my fat mouth. Okay? And I'm not saying everything I hear is true or everything I say is true. But I have known that through the years, most everything started from the Africans. And people just took it and made it their own. So that's why we don't have as much black history as we should, because they know we'll find all this out. The gig will be up. Okay. And another thing is, I have other videos on my take on religion, and I've been getting a lot of backlash. Ooh, some very mean comments. But I just want to, I'm going to touch on a few bases. But one is religion. And I want to read a quote from Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Adam Clayton Powell Jr. He was a minister and a U.S. congressperson. I didn't know he was a minister. See, we just don't know these things until we read. We have to pick up a book. My book, African American Quotations. He says, there is no heaven or hell in the sense that there are places one goes after death. The heaven or hell to which one goes is right there in the span of years that we spend in this body on earth. And that is something that I've been feeling, but I was scared to feel that way. I thought I was wrong to feel that way. So, because when you grow up hearing Jesus and God, and you go into heaven or you go into hell, all your life, that's what you think. Until you start knowing other things and reading and doing research. And I tried to believe that. Jehovah's Witness had me thinking that you go in the ground, hell is your grave, and that you would be brought back to live on the paradise earth if you live according to the Jehovah's Witness Bible. The Israel of God had me thinking that you will go to hell and burn for eternity if you don't do what the Bible says, and that you will live on a paradise earth. I realized, you know what? I'm going to stop trying to be what somebody else is saying. I'm going to be who I am and believe what I believe, because that's all I got. I was born in this world by myself, and I'm going to live for who I am, who I was born to be. I have my own mind, and I'm going to think for my own mind. and I'm going to think for myself. So, and this is something what Marcus Garvey says. He was a nationalist leader. If hell is what we are taught it is, then there will be more Christians there than all the days in creation. Yeah. See, a lot of us have not experienced the mayhem and the racism that a lot of our elders have. And we need to start listening to them. Because a lot of them was back then when their family was back then. Their family, their ancestors told their ancestors and their ancestors. Our ancestors right now ain't telling us nothing. And I am going to hit on that right now. I'm reading a book called Brainwashed. I don't know what's going on with my lighting. That didn't make it no better. It's called Brainwashed. And I'm going to touch on a little bit because we've been hearing so much about hair. I've been getting some very cruel comments, especially from black men. Really putting us black women down because of everything, from our weight to our hair to our skin color to us having kids without a father in their lives, and they act like it's our fault. Most of these men are making our kids fatherless homes. Now, I want to get back to, we're going to go back to 1960, where it talks about black pride. Remember the words, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud? Well, this was a brief moment of hope and collective transformation in the late 1960s, when the younger, less tolerant prodigy of the civil rights era birthed the Black Power movement. To be called black was no longer an insult. It was liberating. Suddenly, many of us sported dashikis and raised clenched fists and shouted, "Black Power!" And black is beautiful. I seen that on one of the Braxton shirts on one of their episodes. Black is beautiful. My black is beautiful, it said. My black is beautiful. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying nothing against that. You know, so this is coming back. I mean, we have to prove that our black is beautiful. Okay. And sang James Brown's Say It Loud, I'm black and I'm proud. Okay. It wasn't just mainstream politics that changed, but because of this newfound interest in ourselves, education, music, fashion, and language shifted to reflect the demands of those who refuse to go unheard. Now, in the new beautiful, afros emerged as our black crowns, worn as a sign of liberation and self-love. Okay, remember that. Self-love. All of a sudden, now that we're wearing afros, we love ourselves. I don't know when that became an issue. I guess some people may feel that way, that they don't think they love yourself, but you love yourself every time you get up out that bed, eat, wash your face, brush your teeth, eat a meal, go to work. You love yourself, because if you didn't, you would lay in the ground and die. Okay, that's just my take. Now, we seem to believe that, at least for a moment. We had a renewal of the spirit. Brown and ebony skinned sisters were elevated to gorgeous sex symbols. I think that was a problem. That became a problem. Now we're becoming sex symbols. Visions of loveliness and grace. Black women who had expected the myth of inferiority and had all but given up on themselves suddenly had role models like Pam Grier, kicking behinds and taking names. They could look at bad sisters like Kathleen Cleaver and Angela Davis and see themselves as not only as beautiful, but smart, strong, politically conscious. Black women could see their whole selves reflected in a new magazine, Essence, founded by the longtime publisher and CEO Ed Lewis and four partners in 1968. Okay, all good. Good. We was being put in advertising. We had our beauty products being marketing. But unfortunately, the new movement only lasted less than a decade. Now listen to this. Old folks, for the most part, never brought into it. These are like the ones that with the money, who had the jobs at the plants, that was making big money. You know, you had a lot of them. But they didn't invest in this new movement. They didn't encourage their kids to be a part of this new movement. They thought it was disgusting. They couldn't understand. A lot of them couldn't understand. Why are you wearing an afro? Why don't you comb that nappy stuff? They did not embrace it. They didn't teach their kids to embrace it. And what happened is, they didn't see black as being beautiful. They saw it as being a conflict of interest. Okay? Because they insist on keeping the colored or Negro brand, spouting defensive retorts that reflected the death of the black inferiority complex. I ain't black. I ain't never been to Africa. Oh yeah, I had parents like that. By the late 1970s, many young people who were early enthusiasm of the black is beautiful concept gave in to the pervasive social pressure of fitting in with the mainstream. They wanted the jobs at the government offices. They wanted to be in the school system, corporate America. So time to integrate and assimilate, fulfilling the dreams of the generations past. So, by the 60s and 70s, war on poverty got trumped up by the 80s, war on crime. Various social forces prevailed, led by popular culture and the media. As more formal and legal barriers to race fell, God-given hairstyles were deemed not professional enough. Anything remotely approaching natural, froze, cornrows, braids, dreadlocks, that offended or scared the heck out of white people in the workplace. Black women, to obtain good jobs, they had to get rid of those natural dues. And they had to revert to appearing less black, undergoing the process of Caucasianizing the hair. So, the hair care industry picked up on that. They started marketing the new products, perms. Well, first it was the Jerry curl. Then you had that soggy Jerry curl look, followed by the 90s waterfall of weaves, extensions, and wigs of endless straight hair variety for women. hmm Now, today, the hymn of Black is Beautiful is something we occasionally utter and rarely believe. The signals, the culture cues, the media message, and the charismatic public personalities all come together with a singular, constant resource counter theme. Black is not beautiful. The hair and the flair of light-skinned actresses and models in films and on magazine covers reinforce the notion that the dark and lovely is fine for hair coloring products, but indeed out of fashion in real life. Consider the slogan, "Perfection Made Easy," that Soft Sheen Carson used to promote his dark and lovely kids' beautiful beginnings hair care system. What message are black children receiving when using these products to relax their hair? Most likely that they learn that black futures don't fit the definition of perfection. What's disturbing is that the lessons don't always come from outsiders. Consider the daughters of comedian Chris Rock. While promoting his film in 2009, Good Hair, about the 9 million black hair care industry, Rock told interviewers that he was inspired to make the film by his two daughters who didn't think they have good hair. Rock's wife, Malak Compton Rock, added more detail to the story during the April 11, 2008 MSNBC conversation about race panel discussion. According to Compton Rock, the couple's 3-year-old daughter, Zahara, came home from school depressed because her hair was not as long as one of her non-black friends. Compton Rock told the MSNBC audience that she comforted Zahara by telling the child that she loved her hair's fluffiness and puffiness, and that it did not detract from her unique beauty. Now, I wasn't the only one who caught the contradictions in Compton's Rock heartfelt consolation. Thankfully, K. Danielle Edwards, a Nashville-based writer, addressed my concerns in Mamas Wear Your Natural Hair. Her blackcommentary.com observations. Here was Compton Rock bemoaning her daughter's ambivalence about her own hair, seemingly befuddled and blaming society and the media when she herself was donning at least 18 inches of silky straight weave. Now, this is the concept that we get from people. We are being misled by someone, because when do you have to be defined who you are by what you have on your head? Now, I know what you wear, how you do your hair, it's supposed to be a reflection of who you are. So what is wrong with people expressing themselves through their way they wear their hair or the clothes that they wear? Now, we know different clothes do suggest different things. You have modest clothes, you have sexy clothes, you have clothes that are for running, you have clothes that are for work, you have clothes that are for going to bed. You have clothes for relaxing around the house. You wear and you have the way you want to wear your hair. If you feel like wearing your hair short, cut it. If you feel like wearing it long, let it grow. If you want to wear weave, to have different styles, because you are a creative person. Because black people are generally very creative. I have seen the styles. Now, the styles that they wear, there's no way in the world they could wear it with their hair. And and it gives a person things to do, to be unique. Because you have some people wear styles that you and me probably would never wear, but it looks good on them. And you have these hairdressers that makes plenty of money to create these styles. So what I can't understand is, and then the hair color. You have people wearing all different kind of hair colors. What's wrong with that? Be unique. Be yourself. Love yourself by being yourself. Just like we heard where all of a sudden you love yourself because you wear an afro. I love yourself by being yourself. And don't worry about what other people say. Because you can't go through life wondering what somebody is going to say. The only thing you can do is be respectful and treat other people the way you want to be treated. Because then you have to be mindful of others. We can't just go places and look just like anything. We have to show respect. You're not going to go to your child's school looking a hot mess. You're going to go to your child's school looking presentable. Just like you're going to go to work looking presentable. And there's nothing wrong with, if you want this corporate job and wearing an afro is not going to be damn right, come on. Put a wig on. Go to work. Come home. Take that wig off. Wear your fro. When you go to work, you're working for them. So if you don't want to do that, next best thing is get your own business. You ain't got to worry about it. Well, that's just my say. All right. Well, thank you for listening. And I hope you enjoyed the video. And I will make some more. And keep the comments coming. Bad or good. It don't matter. You got your own mind. Use it. Thank you. Have a wonderful, great day.